Hello everyone, hope everyone's doing good today. So I had a subscriber reach out to me in a comment pretty much saying that he bought some different species of Stenocereus seeds online, and I guess the seller accidentally mixed all the seeds together. And so he wanted me to make a video to pretty much help him identify some of his Stenocereus that he has. The problem is that I don't have all the species of cactus in this Stenocereus genus. Now I do have a couple of them, so I'll make a quick little video and just try to help them out how to identify the ones I have right here. So the first one is Stenocereus queretense, the one I have right here in front of me. And the easiest way to identify this one is it has a black, it can have either black or brown, like some dark brown areoles, as you guys can see right there. That's a black areole. And these spines could come either white or black. I do have another Stenocereus queretense that has some black spines, like this one. You can see the real dark black areole, and then the spines right here, that one has the black spines on the bottom. But it's crazy because this one, as a mature cactus, it has the black spines, but then on the new growth it actually has white spines. So not all the Stenocereus are gonna look exactly the same. You probably will get some hybrids in there, so that's why you'll see some Stenocereus queretense with a little bit of different features in them. And this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ribs. Now I do have another Stenocereus queretense that has 10 ribs, but they usually have like 7 to 8 ribs. And here's a Stenocereus queretense fruit, which is called a Pitaya. So this fruit right here, as you guys can see, is like full of little spines all over it. And then on the Stenocereus queretense, the flower on top stays on it, as you guys can see on the top over here. Now right now I have my cactus are kind of yellowish, but these cactus are pretty much green. They're yellow right now because of the sun. But yep, this is a Stenocereus queretense. Here's another one. You guys can see the black areoles, and some of them may have some longer spines on them. So here I have another one, which I believe is a Stenocereus wassercorum, or it could be a Stenocereus griseus. Now you guys can see the fruit is a lot different from a Stenocereus queretense fruit. These ones have less spines around the fruit, and you can see that this one has white areoles, unlike the Stenocereus queretense that can have black or brown areoles. And it's the flower bud on the side, which is completely red. And here I have another one, which I'm not sure as well if it's a Stenocereus wassercorum or a Stenocereus griseus, but the fruit does look a little bit different from this one. And once the cactus get more mature, the areoles do get a lot bigger. Like this one that has the black areoles, which is a Stenocereus queretense, which you could tell a lot more because when they're seedlings, like the areoles all tend to be white, but once they get mature, they'll start to get dark. I'll show you guys some seedlings that I have right now. So these seedlings, as you guys can tell, the areoles are white, but these are Stenocereus queretenses. Once they start to get a little bit more mature, the cactus, they'll start to get darker. And that's the only problem that the subscriber is going to have. When the seeds are, when you have seedlings, they all kind of look the same. So you're going to have them for a couple of years to actually start to identify them. Because right now, like this one, it looks like a Stenocereus griseus with the white areoles. This one's a Stenocereus prunusis. These Stenocereus prunusis tend to have this very beautiful white farina pattern on them, on the side like this one. And as you guys can see, the white farina. And that white farina is only to like protect them from the sun. And these ones have some white areoles and some small little spines. Now I do have another Stenocereus pernussus that have a lot more farina on them. They tend to have a lot more, like especially on the tips, on the new growth, as you guys can see right there. And if you touch it, it comes off. Now you shouldn't take it off because it protects them from the sun. But this is how you can tell from how a Stenocereus pernussus looks. It has that very beautiful farina around them. So my next cactus is a Stenocereus martinisii. I believe that's how you say it. And this one, as you guys can see, this one actually has black areoles like the Stenocereus queretense, but these areoles are actually a lot bigger, and as you guys can see, the little spines on it, they're a lot thicker than the Stenocereus queretense. This one actually has kind of spines like a Stenocereus gummosus, which I'll show you guys right now. It's right here. This one's a Stenocereus gummosus. This one has white areoles, very big white areoles, but the spines are very crazy on this cactus. This is actually one of my favorite cactus just because of the spines on them. You guys can see these spines are really nice. This one gives out the sour pitaya. So these are the spines. And then these areoles are pretty much, they're pretty big areoles on them. So that's the Stenocereus gummosus. Here I have a Stenocereus alomonaceus. This one's full of little spines, and these cactus tend to be a lot skinnier, and they're more kind of like branchy, unlike the Stenocereus queretense, which are more like a columnar cactus. This one, once they start getting bigger, they will start to tip over. So that's the Stenocereus alomonaceus. And here on the side, I have a Stenocereus freesi. Now this one's a seedling, so it's a little bit hard to tell. But once they start to get more mature, like as you guys see the top of it, the areoles tend to get a little bit bigger. And you guys can see the spines right there. They have some bigger spines. Kind of looks like a Stenocereus griseus when they're seedlings, but once they start getting more mature, you guys can see the difference. As you guys see the bottom right here, the spines right here are really small. But once they start to get more mature, you kind of tell the difference. So here's the Stenocereus freesi. Next cactus is a Stenocereus thurberi, and this one's a pretty thin one, which is actually a mature cactus already. It's already giving out fruit. Well, this is a flower bud. So this is how the flower bud looks on these Stenocereus thurberi. And these actually have a lot more ribs than the Stenocereus queretense. As you guys can see, all of those ribs. This one's full of ribs. Now I do have some more, which are a lot bigger than this one, which I will show you guys. So here I have a Stenocereus uruca, also known as the creeping devil. So the unique thing about this cactus is that they tend to lay down, and it looks like they're creeping on the ground, but it's just that the back part of this cactus will dry up, and then it'll regrow some new roots. And you guys can see these things are full of spines. They kind of look like the spines of a Stenocereus gummosus. This is a very beautiful cactus. And then the new spines are red, as you guys can see right there on the tip of it. So my next cactus is a Stenocereus benekii. And this is a very large Stenocereus benekii. So the bottom part looks a lot different from the top part, and I'll show you guys why right now. But first, let me show you guys the spines on this Stenocereus benekii. Some really long, thin spines. And here's the top part. The top part right now, it does have farina on it, and it's kind of like the same farina that the Stenocereus prunusa have, but this one has a lot more, as you guys can see right here. And on the bottom part, it already washed off, so if you touch it or if you put water on it, they will wash off. Now here's one of the tips that I cut off of it. As you guys can see, this one's full of farina, so it looks super white, really nice. Here on the back I have the Stenocereus keratensis, and here's the Stenocereus salomonaceus. You guys can see the difference from those three. So like I told you guys in the beginning, I was going to show you guys a more thicker turberi. So these are a lot bigger than the first one I showed you guys. But the first one I showed you guys, it was actually mature. And these are still haven't given me fruit, but you guys can see the difference from the first one. So not all of them are going to look the same. The first one was real skinny, but these are a lot bigger. I mean, they have black areas and same amount of ribs, but these are just a lot fatter than the first one. Here I'm showing you guys another Stenocereus prunusis that looks a little bit different than the first one I showed you guys. This one has a little bit of farina, and just the new growth probably has a little bit more, but as you guys can see, the farina from this one and the first one look a lot different. Here I have a Stenocereus griseus, and this one actually has a lot more farina. You guys can see it kind of looks like the prunusis, but this one has given me fruit, so I know it's not a prunusis. It's a Stenocereus griseus. The Stenocereus griseus tend to give out a smaller little fruit, and I already had tasted this fruit. This one has white areoles as well. So here's a Stenocereus stellatus. As you can see that the ribs, these have more little lumpier ribs. They tend to get those little lumps near the areoles. You guys can see right there. And this one has white areoles as well. And here's the fruit of this Stenocereus stellatus. The fruit is kind of more of a soury taste to it. So here's another Stenocereus stellatus. You guys can see the ribs. They kind of rounded out. Has the little bumps around the ribs. So here's the problem with some of these cactus. Like for this one, for example, this one came from Mexico, and I tasted the fruit, and the fruit is exactly the same as the Stenocereus keratensis, but this one most likely is a hybrid. So these cactus tend to have, hybrids, so it's harder to tell the difference. This one's probably a Stenocereus keratensis with a prunusis, because I did taste the fruit, and the fruit is more of a Stenocereus keratensis, but then it doesn't have the black areoles as the Stenocereus keratensis. Now that's gonna be pretty much it for this video. Like I said, I don't have all the species in the Stenocereus genus, but I just wanted to show you guys just some of the difference on how to tell them apart, and hopefully you guys like this video. If you guys have any questions, just leave me a comment, and thank you for watching it.